See what the journalists claim.
Sure. So it's a bright sunny day, I got a fresh cup of coffee next to me,
Women
and
are
another
dying.
round of game journalists to laugh at. How could things get any better? Now, of course, you guys know the hysteria surrounding Stellar Blade, in particular
The hysteria. Oh yeah, I do know it. But let me move myself over here. There we go.
design of its main protagonist, Eve. And despite the fact that this character is based on a 3D scan of a real-life Korean model, a bunch of weirdos on Twitter have openly admitted that they can't stop thinking of children whenever they look at this video game character, which is very odd. But it's not been just Twitter users. We've seen a lot of game journalists go after this game and its character designs, including IGN France. We talked about this the other day, where this author called Eve a doll sexualized by someone who has never seen a woman.
Yes, the famous statement.
When it was discovered that the director of Stellar Blade is not only married, but his wife is on the art team. And when this was pointed out to IGN France, they would edit their original article with this snarky reply, adding this bit here, talking about the English-speaking mob. Well, as it
this last sentence has been slightly edited for French-speaking people pretending not to understand what we meant, and the English-speaking mob who Google translated the text. Damn. Damn, he doubled down, man. Or she. They doubled down on that. Lovely.
As it turns out, that was not the only journalist from IGN France having a meltdown over Stellar Blade. As pointed out by this user, Topic, who also provides some translations for this, they will show that another writer for IGN France was melting down over this character design. You can see their translated comments right here.
Dude, I don't understand what is their issue with this character.
So, yes, no problem. Go tell that to the women who are hit, killed, denigrated, or commit game end because they cannot live up to the fictional standards expected by men.
I mean, okay, first of all, no one should live up to any standards expected by anyone. Second of all, really? Really? This person has no idea how fiction for women is, right? Because, let me tell you, no guy comes close to the freaking hotness that is in fantasy books for women. And if anything, women are too busy reading those to give a flying fuck about a character in a video game.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Stellar Blade is literally killing women, according to this journalist. Absolutely insane, okay? And also this idea that it's all men creating these things. I mean, does it change your opinion if you discovered that some of the people on the art team for Stellar Blade are in fact women? Are you going to blame them too?
Of course, they're going to be like the women were forced, coerced. They also like were warped and raised wrong and it's their fault. It's any narrative that doesn't fit their own. Oh boy, no one tell them about the Victoria's Secret models for many years because, oh boy.
But let's keep reading through this. The problem is not the sexy design itself, except that it sucks compared to others. But hey, that doesn't matter. Well, it mattered enough for you to mention it. Also, insane cope, by the way. But they go on to say, but the percentage of males who will only want this type of fictional body in reality, obviously we understand that this does not shock people who think that women are objects who must obey and be beaten. This design makes us sigh and roll our eyes, and we laugh at anyone who needs it, man or woman, but that's it. The certainly clashing remark in the text, which targets the entire creative process.
What the fuck is wrong with them? When did we go from sexy design to women must obey and be beaten? Huh? Huh? When? How? And who the fuck cares if people expect that body that clearly does not exist in real life, even though it's modeled by, you know, a real life person, right? To make the character. people who expect that. They're not gonna find it, so they're gonna lower their standards, or they're gonna die alone. Or they're gonna marry an AI. Or a fictional character. Like, why are people so concerned?
Not necessarily a specific designer or the game director. This is obvious to anyone who knows a little French. Only has this impact because a good portion of gamers have become too fragile due to being fed the patriarchy.
Did you guys know that we were fed the patriarchy? Yum, 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 yum. We ate it with a spoon. Yum, 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 yum. Bruh.
Yes, the patriarchy strikes again, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the first thing I want to ask this author, it's a very simple question. Are you okay? Like, are you okay?
They're
These are not the
okay.
words of someone who is doing too well at the moment, okay? And I would ask who hurt you, but I think the answer would be the patriarchy, of course.
Maybe they got beaten and told they need to obey, and they were like, oh, that's not a kink, it's real life.
But there's a lot of complaining and outrageous reaches here, basically saying that the designs of characters like Eve from Stellar Blade are literally getting women abused is absolutely outrageous. Jesus. But also, let's acknowledge something else here. It's not just women, and men have these kind of standards placed in media as well. Look at video game character designs of male characters. What do they typically look like? They're super tall, masculine, with huge muscles. And people are unable to understand that this is not supposed to be a reflection of what you should look like. It's just this idealistic design that's included in these games because it's fictional. You can make them in these idealized versions because it's not possible in real life or easy to do in real life. But this whole thing is just...
Just go to the gym, bro. Oh, wait. Memes aside, I don't know what to tell this person except some people are into obeying and being beaten in the bedroom. Look, can you keep that for yourself in the bedroom and not bring it up as relevant journalism because of a sexy design?
Just very, very angry at Stellar Blade and making a very large deal
Even my
out of this
cat is
character
upset.
design to a ridiculous point. However,
Come here,
IGN would do something unexpected. They would apologize for the situation. Now, of course, they wouldn't apologize for that previous set of statements from the other author, but they would apologize for the initial document that was uploaded to their site on IGN France. So here's what they said. Recently, IGN France produced and published a preview of Stellar Blade containing an offensive passage that should have never been included. The text has now been modified, and here's our official apology to the staff at Shift Up Corporation.
How is that? Here's our official apology. Like, that's it. Like, not even, we're sorry. They're like, take this as an apology.
And it would continue. The original text of the Stellar Blade preview contained statements that were out of place. They added, while it was never our intention to disrespect either Shift Up or any of its employees or their work, we recognize that the sentence taken in its literal sense was out of place and we regret it. Ultimately, IGN concluded, for anyone at Shift Up Corporation who felt personally targeted and insulted by this passage, we are truly sorry and apologize profusely.
What about all the rest of us that read it and were insulted? And how are you supposed to take the sentence if not in its literal sense? What were we supposed to understand from, you've never seen a woman before if you think this is realistic?
So here's the thing. I know for a fact that they would likely have never apologized or modified this passage if it wasn't for people on Twitter and YouTubers calling out this section. But you know what? It's something. Give credit where credit is due. IGN did apologize and modify that section. So at least there's something there. Now here's...
Bruh, I don't think that apology does anything. It's literally just them wiping their hands and going like, well, you took it too literal. Sorry. is not an apology,
Some
man.
other news coming out about Stellar Blade, some good news. So as Niche Gamer here reports, Stellar Blade won't have microtransactions or hidden fees according to its developer. So he said this: "We want to make it clear at this point that Stellar Blade will not require gamers to spend any additional money beyond what they paid for the package. The only exception to this is if we create collaborative costumes with third-party IPs. Those may be sold for a fee. Also, there is no new game plus in the launch version, but that will be coming very soon." This decision is a complete reversal of another recent big release, Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, if you guys don't know about that, that was an absolute disaster with the
It was. I have a video on it. Go check my video out.
amount of microtransactions that came along with that game. I'm pretty sure you have to pay a $5 fee just to move your character. Now, I'm exaggerating, but only a little. That's
Exaggerating, but only a little. Okay, he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. Or they don't know what they're talking about with that. But it does have microtransaction issues, which they shouldn't be there. But yeah, go watch my video. I'll link it in the description if you're interested in the drama of Dragon Dogma and microtransactions. Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. I'm only exaggerating a little, but it's very clear that Stellar Blade
meow.
is not going to be bogged down with microtransactions, which is something that I know a lot of gamers will definitely appreciate. But moving forward, with all of this positive news about Stellar Blade, it probably also doesn't come as a surprise that the director of Stellar Blade is actually a bit concerned about the public perception of this game in the West. In an interview, they were asked this question. Related to this, some Western media outlets have expressed their discomfort with the portrayal of female characters in Stellar Blade. Are you aware of these issues? Where Kim would reply saying, "I know that in the West, game characters have to reflect realistic appearances in many ways, and that many issues like gender and racial diversity are intertwined. However, Stellar Blade is only a cultural and entertainment product. I hope you will keep an eye on this as a fun action game has just been released."
Like, it is sad that they literally have to mention that it's a cultural thing and that they don't want to obey the West and change their games just to fit the West's perspective. And that we reached a point where we're so fucking insane in our requests and what we need that they know about it. Like, what the heck? Like, I don't want game characters to reflect realistic appearances. I don't care about, like, diversity in my video game or gender or anything. I just want the game to be fun. Is the game fun? If the game is fun, perfect. I can be anything. Quite literally.
So basically what the director is saying is, please understand our game simply exists as something that is a fun action game for your entertainment. It is very sad that someone, especially at a Korean studio like this, has to tell people in the West that their game is supposed to be for fun and not some political or societal statement on something. It
really is sad, man. It really is. Like, you have to defend your game and say that your game is for fun. When did we reach the point? Like, games were always meant to be fun. They were always made to be fun. When did we reach the point where games are supposed to be more than fun?
It's just a fun game. That's really concerning that they have to worry about this and how it will be perceived in the West. And a lot of that is thanks to game journalists who are attacking this product and the character designs from Stellar Blade. But of course, as Mark Kern would point out here, while people are concerned about the Western journalists slamming this game, here are the pre-order lists, all the countries where you can pre-order Stellar Blade. So, of course, if you stand with this company, its director,
hey, Romania's number 5
go ahead and pre-order this game. Let's show it a lot of support because Stellar Blade is definitely going through the ringer with all of these corrupt game journalists and wackadoos on Twitter who are trying to attack this game simply for having an attractive female lead. But moving forward, Lunar here would...
Games, music, sports, everything pushes agendas these days, mostly political. I know! Like, it baffles me and it annoys me because, like, I just want the space where I can just enjoy what I'm doing. And I had multiple mediums for that. I had books and I had video games. And now they're like trying to take away video games and make it about whatever they want to sell and peddle. Also, Crit, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. How is Dark Souls?
Report another finding. Another game journalist lying about Gamergate and also the Sweet Baby Inc. situation. So Radio Canada, the French CBC, has put out a hit piece on Cabrutus. Now, if you don't remember, Cabrutus is the individual who started the Steam group Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. You can see the very simple message for letting people know if a game is involved with this company. That is it. He made that curation list. And now he's been spending a lot of time making content, doing interviews. He's doing a really good job. However, how would this article frame Cabrutus and who he is and what his role is and all of this stuff? No, they would not call him the guy who created the curation group on Steam. This is what they would call him: the founder of Sweet Baby Inc. Detected movement and leader of the cyber harassment campaign.
Damn.
Yes. Ironic because this same article, like every other article about the Sweet Baby Inc. situation, fails to mention the initial harassment campaign started by a Sweet Baby Inc. employee that started all of these events. All the dominoes fell with that situation.
Dude, all I know about Sweet Baby Inc. is that they literally said that they're gonna threaten you with the Twitter mob until you get cancelled if you don't take their advice. And that's what you should do. You should threaten people to get your way. That's the only thing I know about them. And that's the only thing that I'm just like, after that, I was like, you have no value in my eyes. Like, your opinion is moot after that. Like, if you're telling me that I should threaten people and that's the way I get my way, nah. You're promoting violence. Fuck off.
And they failed to mention that in this article and instead labeled Cabrutus as the leader of the cyber harassment campaign for simply listing off games that Sweet Baby Inc. has publicly listed on their own website. Absolutely insane. Journalism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. But moving on, let's go back to Mark.
You gotta have a narrative and get clicks.
Involved in this ongoing Gamergate situation, covering a lot of the related information. And he's had a lot of back and forth, a lot of jabs exchanged.
What the hell is that invitation?
And Alyssa Merchant. I don't know. Nobody knows how to say her last name. But
I guess.
Basically, he would make this joke on April Fool's Day, saying that everyone is invited to their wedding. You know, love conquers all, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see. But of course, based on the back and forth arguments between these two, this is a joke. It's an April Fool's joke, but there was one person who didn't find this very funny, and that was, of course, Alyssa, who encouraged her followers to report this tweet for, I guess, harassing her. Well, that's some pretty Weenie Hut Jr. levels of harassment and tolerance for this kind of stuff if you're trying to make people report this tweet of all things. Meanwhile, she has spent many times attacking Mark, making fun of his physical appearance, making fun of his age and other things, but this was too far. I mean, come on, let's be real. It's just because you don't like him and you want to see his tweets get taken down. Well, also on top of that, Mark Kern would point out that there was community notes suggested for his tweet.
That's very petty.
To add a label onto this tweet, including this one right here. Whilst an April Fool's Day joke, Kern is engaging in a continued harassment campaign against Mercante, which under U.S. law is defined as repeated or continuing uninvited contact, creating alarm, annoyance, or emotional distress. Now, of course, this note wouldn't make it because the community note system on Twitter is actually a pretty strong one and tends to work out pretty well in the court of public opinion. Crazy notes like this tend to not make it.
Jesus Christ, man. If anything, they all harassed and annoyed each other and caused emotional distress to all of us looking at them. Quite literally, like, yes, the hypocrisy at its finest. I see. One's allowed to harass and make fun of the dude, but he's not allowed to make an April Fool's joke. Got it.
And there was other ones suggesting that this wasn't harassment at all. But anyways, that note would get knocked down, and of course his tweet would not get reported or in any way harmed by these false reports. But moving forward, let's take a moment to look at something else that happened that affected Mark. So he reported that there was a tsunami, an earthquake, and a related tsunami that hit his hometown in Taiwan. So of course, he would take a break from talking about video game situations and drama to focus on this tragedy and to make sure that his family and friends from his hometown are okay. That seems like a very reasonable thing to do. However, the absolute psychopaths that are supporting these game journalists...
That seems like a reasonable thing to do. Nah, man. Nah. You don't post about tragedies during a drama. Nah, that's unheard of.
Would use this as an opportunity to attack Mark Kern for being concerned about the lives of his friends and family affected by this earthquake and tsunami. Here's some of the replies. This user saying, "Hey Grums, I heard your family is living with SpongeBob now." This one saying, "Engagement farming his family's possible deaths. You made a 7 post about it, back to back, talking about taking a break, just letting you know it's karma. The KKK actually killed people." What is it?
Bruh, that dude verified himself just so he can get extra value with the check mark. He pays money so he can say that, nah, it's the KKK killing people, not tsunamis. Yes, God forbid someone is really worried and wants to vent somewhere their feelings about the situation. God forbid they simply are not thinking and posting something. Yes, it's clearly engagement farming. Yeah. You can't be a known figure and post.
This guy talking about. Then this one saying, "Who lives in a swell at the bottom of the sea? Grums, his whole family."
It's the same dude.
And this...
That's literally the same dude, isn't it? Wait, why won't my thing work? Oh, now it did. Yeah, it's the same dude. That dude was so into wanting to make a joke. Like, he was like, "Oh man, I got this, guys. Why is no one liking it? I'm gonna post it again, just different, the same thing." Yeah, because that's gonna make it better. Dr. whatever.
Then this one saying, "Who lives in a swell at the bottom of the sea?" Grums,
like, that's so sad, man.
And this guy
it's
said,
like, didn't you realize is like, you're not funny?
As your entire timeline is quote tweeting this dude, he really got into your feels, didn't he? Where they said, "I was hoping Pussy Boy would take the bait, but I guess he's too busy now with renting scuba gear." Yes, the normal
free
people,
times making the joke. Damn.
The potential harm caused to his family because they don't like his takes about video games.
Honestly, that's a lot of people that are chronically online. Like, a lot of people that are chronically online that will hate you just for existing. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say. It's always done for the wrong reasons. You always have the worst opinions. You deserve the worst. Because, yeah, life has not been kind to them while being chronically and terminally online.
Yes, the normal people.
Very
but
sad.
Moving forward, we've seen a lot of other tweets like this, trying to give their opinion on this entire situation involving Stellar Blade, saying, "Anyone else starting to feel awkward about liking Stellar Blade? The public discourse and perception is becoming a bit weird." Yes, I will tell you this. You should never
don't feel awkward
for enjoying a piece of media, in particular a video game, because of public perception about it.
Pretty much.
And in this case, people going absolutely rabid over the character designs and the fact that this game is a clash between what we're expecting with video game releases in the West currently.
No, I don't have a PS5. But yeah, like for me, I don't give a flying fuck what other people think. If I like something, I like it. I can be the only person in the world that likes it. So what?
And I don't like how people think it's becoming weird to like this. Don't allow game journalists or anyone else out there to change your perception of what you should be able to enjoy. The people being psychotic about the situation should not control the narrative. And I think it's absolutely crazy that people are afraid to say they like this game because of X, Y, or Z.
I mean, except the fact that some people are afraid because the mob will come after them and they're not ready for that. There's also the thing of insanity that a lot of the people that are hating on this, they don't even play video games.
At the end of the day, go enjoy the game, and I'm telling you, millions of people will without having any
Yeah, no
thought
one
of
cares
Twitter in
about
their
Twitter.
minds as they purchase
Yep.
Stellar Blade. I expect the sales of Stellar Blade to be very, very strong and it to be a very well-received game. I mean, the demo itself is doing really, really well and has been praised across the board by people who want to look beyond just their own insecurity about the character designs and how it
She's not even that like yes, she is beautiful, but like we had Bayonetta too, and no one complained back then, man. It's like damn. Oh, still, I gotta say, like literally, no one cares about Twitter, and if we learned anything, is that the more you hate on something, the more people are gonna buy it just to spite you. So yeah, good job, people that hated Stellar Blade. You just convinced a bunch more people to buy it because of free marketing. Yay! Just like it happened with Hogwarts Legacy, if anyone remembers that part.
makes them feel. The people who actually play the game are saying the gameplay is really solid and enjoyable. So I expect the game to do really well. And again, don't let anyone affect whether or not you're going to enjoy this game or be able to say that you enjoy this game. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed another round of Gamergate related drama. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's
It was
topics
pretty funny,
in the comment
honestly.
section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
It was pretty enjoyable. It wasn't that bad. There was just like one journalist that was really over the top. Cat, please. What? Sorry. That guy was like, Jesus Christ, man, get out of the basement. Do something else with your life. If women are getting beaten over how sexy a fictional character looks, I think that's not a problem of how the fictional character looks. I think that's a problem of how people are educated. Like, how about we go for the source of the problem? Education. How about we, teach people to be people? But I guess that's too far, thinking too far ahead for their brain.